Look,
Yeah.
stop your jibber jabber and get going before it all melts on your hand.
Great guy, president of the ACU, Tim Lightfoot. He was there at Manchester last week for the Speedway Grand Prix. Got a chance to catch up with him, and yeah, he is all over the motorcycle sport in this country, and here again for I think probably the 4th time in 5 rounds. I think Jeff. So good to see him, and nice to see the ice cream man making a dollar.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, if anybody wants to bring us an ice cream, feel free.
Just not mid-moto. Wait until we finish.
Yes, which will be in 25 minutes plus 2 laps. There's Jamie Carpenter next to teammate Conrad Muse. There's the 28 of Charlie Cole, who made a really, really good start in that first race and then went out early on. And then the 91 of Charlie Putnam, Carlton Husband on the Fantic. 925 is Lennox Dickinson. Jason Meara on the Yamaha, on the motorcycle Yamaha. He's doing pretty good. The Chambers KTM of Harvey Cashmore.
I just want to highlight there, you had the Stark Varg there of Louis Brooks. Now, just when I was walking the track, I suddenly thought I was being attacked by a drone, because obviously they make that whizzing noise. Yes. I turned around to realise it wasn't a drone. It was him going up the start straight.
Yeah.
And I literally I kind of dived as if to say they're messing about with a drone, trying to dive in seagull. Yeah, making a similar noise to a drone.
Yeah, Jaden Murphy there, also on the Absolute KTM. He's on the far end of the grid. Shane Jones and Charlie Goldwyn DNFs in that first one. So final gate drop of the day, Jeff. Predictions?
Well, it doesn't come to much of a surprise. I'm going to go for the safe bet of Herlings. But so, come on, Conrad, you can do it.
Here we go then. Oh, again, somebody getting a bit antsy. I think that was Putnam. Everybody down the inside. It's a good break from the middle. Is that Conrad Muse? Again, it is. There's no back.
Hold it tight. He's going to try and do it. No, he's absolutely sailing it round the outside. Top 3, as you'd expect at the sharp end there again. Oh. Better start from Hamill.
Ben Watson down the inside there of Jeffrey Herlings, almost the dust. I don't think it's as bad as it looks on camera when you're out there on circuit. But it's really weird. It never looks the same. And here we go. Jeffrey up the inside on lap 1. Is he going to make it interesting? You know that he does not. And this is the thing I like about Jeff. He doesn't give anybody anything. If you know that if Conrad Muse takes it to him in this race, Jeffrey's give it 100%.
Yeah.
This was where he went the past last time, and he just does exactly the same, rinse and repeat. But Conrad's got to cover that inside line. If he doesn't, Jeffrey just goes the other side of him.
Yeah, it's that proper conundrum, isn't it? Like what to do on the first lap. You want to try and protect those insides and make them work for it. But he made light work of it. That's the point. Right, let's see if Conrad can go. More importantly, I think, regard to the championship, like I say, Conrad said in his post-race interview, he's got somebody to follow. He likes it when he's here. This, for me, race is more important to Ben Watson than anybody else. Ben's got to find a way of trying to hang with these guys to just get a little bit of confidence, not let that championship start to just, edge out, points lead, edge out further with Conrad. At least get up there and try and hang with him and challenge him.
What was his thoughts after that first moto, Jeff? Was he disappointed? Did he have any answers to what might be his lack of speed, for want of a better word, to be able to stay with the front guys?
He was quite pragmatic about it. He wasn't, he wasn't using the fact that he's never been here as an excuse. Although he obviously did highlight again how the one-day format doesn't give him much chance to get to know the track when others have been here, and it's like that was maybe an advantage. But also, he said they've tried a few things with the bike over the last few weeks, between races, GPs as well, and they kind of just went probably the wrong way with it, and now they're kind of getting that back and getting the feeling back with the bike. So let's see what he can do with it. Good start for Bobby Bruce there. He's in 5th, chasing down Taylor Hamill, and as we highlighted before this race started, the battle in the championship, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. There's 4 points between those 4, all 1 point apart. Tasting championship outside the top 5.
Yeah, big moment there for Tom Grimshaw. He came out onto the wave section and lit the rear end up, and he's now coming under all sorts of pressure from Tristan Purdon. He's the second of the Kawasaki's. Taylor Hamill on the DRT. Flavoured Kawasaki is already there in 4th. Hounding Ben Watson a little as well. And if Taylor Hamill had managed to put in his normal 4th place position finish in Moto 1. He would be angling for a podium if he can find his way past Ben Watson, but not a great race one for the man on that DRT Kawasaki. Had to fight through. He's fought his way through to 7th, but here we can see Purden then on the 772 Kawasaki.
Oh yeah, he hooked it in there, I think, but Tom's going to... No, he's pinched him off. Funny how that's now gone the other way, because in the opening moto, going wide out of that corner seemed to be the more favourable line.
Yeah.
And now it's gone back to the inside, as Purden showed.
It changes through the day at most tracks, but most noticeably here, as the track starts to get really chewed out, especially on the exits of the corners. Your entry point is really... you have to change that up so you're not going out and hitting the same big holes. And another point there.
Robbie Bruce. Oriel. Sorry, Oriel, yeah.
Oliver. So again, the man who can pretty much nail a whole shot on demand at GP level. He's buried outside the top 10 on the first lap. He's now in 8th. He's past Sterry and DeRote, the two Chambers KTM teammates. And talking to the DeRoes yesterday, they are in for Fox Hills, and I think Cameron DeRoe will be... they're going to take him to Montevarchi as well.
Nice.
Obviously, they'll be there with Adam and Ollie Colmer. So another van and another couple of bikes in the big scheme of things. It's not a big deal for that Chambers team, and they will give him his first full GP debut at Montevarchi.
Nice.
Sorry,
good on him.
Ahead of his South African GP.
Yeah.
Not Fox Hills, it's his South African GP. They will be going home to contest that, having raced at Montevarchi and kind of found their way around it. So good to see that.
Well, it's definitely worse GPs to go and ride at, I can tell you that. Italian GPs are always good, and that is a fabulous circuit.
Yeah, Montevarchi, not been on the calendar for quite a while, but there's the battle then, as Oriol Oliver tries to find his way past the 41 of Tristan Purden at the front then. The gap between Herlings and Muse, 3 seconds to make their way around this third lap. Watson has staved off the challenge so far of Taylor Hamill, and that's 3 seconds as well.
So Phoenix Tools fastest lap of the race, no surprise. Jeffrey Herling banging out another quicker lap that time, a round time of 2:07.481. I would expect him to maybe top that. Last time around, Conrad was a 2:08.1. So there you go, losing basically half a second to Herlings. But the gaps, you know, it's not stretching out ridiculous, but again, I think Jeffrey's just doing what Jeffrey does at this point.
Yeah, big moment there for Bobby Bruce. He kind of went into that corner, lost the front, ended up looking like he went across a couple of ruts, ran wide, and all of a sudden, Purden is right there on the tail of the Team 2579 Honda rider, with Oriol Oliver in there as well for fun. This is a technical piece of the track now, and I bet the rocks are the size of your head in the bottom of those ruts.
That's right, yeah, that's definitely cut out through there. Oriol Olivier needs to championship wise, he needs to pick these two riders off if he wants to give himself a shot. You could argue, okay, we're at round 5, still plenty of racing to go, but he's losing valuable points here to Conrad Muse and Ben Watson, because a little while there we really was shaping up like this is going to be an absolute three-way all the way to the last round.
And like I say, they were tied on points, Jeff. I think I think they tied in 2 out of the first 3 rounds or something, and Ben held on to the red plate simply on countback. But Oriol's just not seemed, although his GP campaign has been pretty spectacular, he just hasn't been able to bring the heat here to the British Championship when he needed to, and he is there under pressure. Like I say, he's found his way through past Tristan Purden, and he's now all over the back of Bobby Bruce.
Now, the track is still, you know, all said and done. If you actually knew how much you could see still. See, that's not a drain, that's puddles there, that's actual drain water. I can't believe how dry it is. And with that, the dust is not causing an issue for the riders, regards of them being able to see. It's not that type of dust, it's not that heavy. But what I would say, when you get the camera angle going back facing the sun, because that little bit of dust is hanging in the air, it almost looks like a little bit like SoCal. when we spin the cameras back the other way.
Yeah, the atmosphere, certainly the track texture, it hardens off during the day. can see, like I say, we just got to a point where with the amount of water that we put on it to give us a nice track this morning without turning it into an absolute slop fest.
Like
there you go. That
looks
haze.
a little bit sort of hazy.
All the wind turbines in the background there, Jeff.
Yeah.
Barely a movement out of them. That's how still the day is here. But a nice pass from Oriol Oliver. And he is now going to, he's done 2 riders. He's going to have to set sail after after Taylor Hamill on the DRT Kawasaki if he wants to move any further up the order. We'll see what the gap is when they come across the line next time, with 16:20 plus 2 left to go in this final Pico Factory Racing MX1 race of the day.
Yeah, Oriol, as we said, having to work really hard here. Still, I still think he's putting together a good season, considering the whole kind of thing was he wasn't meant to be effectively riding the MX1 bike, and it was all kind of beginning of the year a bit of a thing. They're going, junior team. I mean, Sean's team, the SS24 Gabriel team is meant to be like the KTM development team. Obviously, Dunson is quite young, but they kind of made it work. Moved Oriol up to the MX1, and yeah, I just like the guy. I think he's just such a nice bloke to talk to, and mild-mannered and always polite, and I like his style too. So I hope that he sticks around. British
He's a
Motocross.
good fit with that team,
Yeah,
Jeff.
I really do. I really hope he stays around in British Motocross for quite a while.
And obviously, it says a lot of the way that that team stands with the KTM factory, that he gets the support that he does. As Purden
just put a squeeze on, couldn't quite get over enough just to squeeze Bobby, but this line seems to be working.
Is Bobby going to get across? He's not. Well, he could have shut him down, but we saw Purden shut down Grimshaw there a few laps ago. Adam Sterry still there in 9th, riding himself back into race fitness, and that's what they said. This was really a tryout for Monty Avaki as to whether he was going to be up for the challenge or not, and he'll just be wanting to get through the day and then maybe reassess Monday, Tuesday. Well, do we make the trip or not? And I don't know, as a racer you want to go and try and race, I suppose, but if they're going anyway, you ride yourself back into fitness. A GP race weekend of 2 days and plenty of practice. It's certainly what Adam Sterry needs, rather than trying to find somewhere
he's trying to
that's representative to ride in the meantime.
He's definitely obviously doing that. Like you said, that's the only thing you can do when you've had time off the bike. He's trying to hang tough in there. It's actually like Grimshaw is now putting a bit of a look at this, bit of a concerted effort onto Bobby Bruce. I'd say Grimshaw is probably the quickest out of these three, because let's have a look, last lap around. Yeah, he was. He was by some margin actually, and he still is. So Tom Grimshaw, out of these 3 riders, this battle for 6th, 7th and 8th, it's actually the rider in 16 at the back of those 3 on the Apico Honda Racing team that is the one making the charge here.
Charlie Cole then in 11th place. That's a better result for him than race 1 where he had a DNF, but he's showing decent speed, and again a rider that's kind of grown into this MX1 class. He's on a legit team doing good things, decent speed. He's there just on the edges of the top 10 as we see this 3-rider battle. It's getting pretty feisty now. Like I say, Grimshaw, having been passed by Purden earlier on, now trying everything he can to get past Bobby Bruce.
Yeah, he is really turning the screw on it now. This is where Bobby got picked up the last before. He's still sticking to. What nearly saved it, Tom Grimshaw. Thought he did there for a while. That was close. He couldn't quite get his hand back on the handlebar.
I get to use my favourite phrase there. He crashed in instalments.
Yeah,
he was nearly on it till he was off it. But good to see Tom bounce back. Really weird crash that. And like I say, I think the front just dug in, took his hand off the bars, and next thing he's on the floor, so he's going to drop down outside the top 10.
I'm just looking at his handlebars. Is his steering bent or?
Doesn't look too bad.
No, okay, but that was a kind of like a little rodeo ride there for a while. He kind of got bucked off, and then for a minute I thought, he's going to do a Randy Momola on that. But not
I don't think he really knew a lot about it either way, but good to see him bounce straight back up and continue on. But that's going to blow that battle out a little bit. When we've got Purdon then already gapped out Bobby Bruce.
Well, it's fair to say the story of the day, you know, as in this class, you can just see that the two Hondas there out front, they've just got that little bit more. Obviously, Jefrey more than anyone.
Yeah.
But Conrad, again, for championship implications, okay, he's there, you know, he's in front of Watson, he's in front of the others. He's not pulled ridiculous points on Ben Watson, and it's not even necessarily about the points. Yes, the lead in the championship will go out a little bit further. It'll still be in single figures, mind you, but I think it's more the psychological side of it.
For Ben, he'll feel that he's not had a great day, and he'll be like, well, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Because it could have been 6 points instead of 4. And obviously be interested to see what Conrad thinks of that. Discuss.
Yeah.
But look, it's not been his best day, but if his worst day is a 3-3 and he's going to still be on the podium, then how bad really can that be? And again, once you know that you haven't got that bit of pace, the rest of it is just minimising risk. You've got a GP next week. It's a long season. We've seen in all of the classes, we've had a lot of riders fall by the wayside with injuries. And ultimately, what brings you a championship is finishing every race, making every gate drop count, and you don't do that by chasing down what is now an 11 second gap
totally.
to somebody that you haven't got the speed of on the given day.
On the day, no, I absolutely get that, you know. But if you look at the stats where we're currently at, you take Herlings out of the equation. We thought it was a three-way battle. I mean, Hamill been having a great season, as Olivier as well. But the reality is, with the remaining rounds, Ben has to find a way of getting up there and sticking it to Conrad. And you know, if he's gonna obviously try and win this championship, you never know. A lot can happen in the sport, of course. But ultimately, he's got to find a way. And you're right, I totally agree, Phil. Not his best day at the office. Track he didn't know. Come out of here, kind of lick your wounds a little bit, and before the next round, Canada Heights, which is a track he knows very well, and my God, he's had some success around there in youth motocross. It's a track that he likes, I'm sure of that. So maybe we'll see him bring the heat to Conrad at that round.
I do know that he won't be losing any sleep over it. He takes every weekend as it comes.
Yeah.
Gets up in the morning, rides his bike, does the best he can, goes home, and he doesn't dwell on what could or couldn't have been. But this man here, he's one of them. He's in a situation where he has to do the same this year. He was within a hair's breadth of leading the World Championship a couple of rounds ago, and he's not had the best run of form. Obviously, didn't hear the interview with you, but earlier on, Jeff. But I'm sure that he's happy to be here and riding and getting some more time in on this bike. It was a massive change for him to move from the KTM that he'd ridden forever,
seemingly, yeah,
onto factory Honda, and. I do like Honda, Jeffrey.
I do. I love it. I think it's really good. For me as well. Okay, so you can get to hear the interview. Obviously, those that did hear it after his first race victory in the winner's circle. Thankfully, he brought up his DNFs in GPs, which I was quite happy about. So
I didn't want to go there either.
I didn't have to broach the question, so I thanked him for that. And he, like I said, just got to put it behind him and he very much uses, because I asked him, what is your position when you come to these British Championship races? You know, is it a case of obviously a good rider shakedown, but do you also use it R&D, a little bit of testing with the bike? And basically the answer to that was, it's a chance to maybe try a few things that we maybe wouldn't risk at GPs.
They're so time limited at the GPs now that if they don't get it bang on in the first session and it is how they want it, it just has such a knock-on effect. But it's good that they come, and like I say, props to Honda for letting him come as well. Roger Harvey was here earlier in the hospitality suite earlier on this morning. Just got a chance to say nod and say hello, but good that he's getting the backing to come and do these races that he always that he has done when he was previously with KTM, and it is our benefit that we get to see him. So.
Well, hopefully, there's obviously always a chance that he might come back and do some more before the season's out. If we don't see him there, then we've got an opportunity to see him again in the UK soon, with the British GP coming up at Fox Hill.
Yeah, that's not that far away now. But yeah, it doesn't seem. I'm used to him being on this bike now. It doesn't seem that. It doesn't seem as alien as it did the first GP of the season, when your brain just doesn't compute what it's seeing. So it's a 6.6 second gap back to second place then, Conrad Mewse, which, if you look at how fast Jefrey Herlings is going, the amount that Conrad Mewse is slower than that is literally a tenth in every other corner.
Careful, Phil. You're close to starting another debate about...
No, I'm not going there. I'm just saying that Conrad's showing the speed, and he's riding really nicely.
How nice was
Jefrey,
that?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Big powered wheelie down the downside.
And there is the dictionary definition of keeping him honest. But we might even see them in the same shot there. There's Conrad in the background. It's not that far.
No.
Just under 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go in this final Pico Factory Racing MX1 moto of the day. From what we were expecting through the weekend with the weather, I think that we've done really, really well to have a hard pack and dusty track here at Monster Mountain after the amount of rain that they had in the preamble and the run-up to this event. Is more than you could ever have believed would happen. And whilst it hasn't given us the most thrilling of days racing, I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. It's still been a good day. We've seen Stat take his first double victory in the EMX in the RFX 125 class. We've seen Charlie Richmond second on the podium, and be really happy. And obviously our MX2 championship leader do another 1-1. So it's been good.
Yeah.
Even a not brilliant day of the races is better than anything else.
Yeah,
and there is Conrad, Jeff.
It's going back to what you're saying there, it's definitely better than I thought. When I'm getting a text message from the crew on saying make sure you pack your wellies for the weekend, and now I could have been walking around in flip-flops.
Yes.
But the track's dried out, which it does. Obviously, this is literally a man-made mountain, and when you drive up, when you come here, if you've never been before, you almost can't get your brain around it. You're like, all that's come out of the ground?
Yes.
That's mad.
It's not a mountain that they just took the top off.
No,
it's a mountain that didn't exist.
I know.
That they built and then took the top off. But as is modern mining methods, especially down this part of the world, it is not uncommon, but it's nonetheless for people like me. Obviously, where my area there's a lot of underground mining and stuff. You don't get to see the stuff like this. But it's a great facility. It's good to see that it's getting grass on it. It's improved every time where it's been used, and level of
like
investment.
I said, it's a facility, and arguably one of the biggest ones we've got in the UK now. There's multiple circuits here. They also hold all kinds of variant enduros here, electric bike racing for the kids, all those kind of things. So yeah, Darren and his team, the level of investment, I mean, is huge. Just the fencing alone, to get round the venue, has been astronomical. So credit to them.
I mean, there's a lot of people. There's nobody in turn one.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot to see there, because you can't see the bit behind it because the turn there's banked. But all the way around here, all down this bit that's where all the cars down here parked, and all the way around the other side of the track, you can see. I'd say you can probably see half the track from most of the places that you stand. But obviously thinning out a little bit now towards the end of the day, getting towards what time we're looking at, getting towards 4:30.
Well, there's Louis Brooks out there on the Stark now. I mean, we've seen them finish some races because early doors at some of the other races just didn't quite have the oomph to get over the line, and that's a talking point in its own right. But yeah, electric racing, Stark out there, and that kid can ride just like his younger brother of Joe, of course.
See, I hadn't made that connection. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, he's younger and arena cross champion in the amateur class. In his skill set in arena cross is really something. I mean, he's got a talent.
Yeah, now you've said that, I think actually I did know, but it was something that I had forgotten. Back in one of the earlier arena cross championships when they first came out. But there is our red plate holder, who will continue to hold that red plate, and he will take that all the way down the M4 from here around the M25 to the next round at Canada Heights, and he will know that as long as he can keep putting that Crendon True 7 Honda in front of the Dirt Store Triumph, that he will put himself in a good place to take another British MX1 championship in this Apico Factory Racing MX1 class, Jeff.
Here's a little snippet as well. There's now another Muse racing. I was lucky enough to see his real younger brother, Vinny, have his first ever race a couple of weekends ago at Portland for one of the balance bike events that I'm involved with. He came and watched on the Saturday, loved it so much, convinced Dad, can we go and race it the next day? They rocked up and I was there to see Vinny's first race. Messaging Conrad, and then I spoke to Vinny after the race. I obviously had to ask the question, are you better than your brother? Yes, was the answer to that.
Well, my first kind of exposure to Conrad Muse was him on an auto, I believe, at the NEC, busting out the finish line double. When there was, I don't think half the 85 class were doing it.
No.
And that's probably been, I don't know, 2010 or something like that, maybe a little bit longer. But he has been one of our top riders now for a lot of years, and hadn't got what it took to take it to Jefrey today, unfortunately. But look, let's not forget, this is one of the fastest men on the planet, and whilst he is now no longer the good side of 30, he still knows how to ride a motorbike, and he has come here, put on a show for the fans, of which we've seen plenty, and he will go away for the next round of MXGP in Montevarchi, knowing that he's done everything that he can to get that bike and himself ready for the second half of the season. We are almost halfway through the year, Jeff, as hard as that is to to understand.
On you so quick.
Yeah, and
that bike as well, by the way, we know Honda HRC, just phenomenal outfit, amazing bikes, proven so many times in our sport, clearly. That looks a really well, that balance bike to me. It kind of rides a little bit lower on the back. He's got it set up very much kind of steering with the rear. It just tracks nicely through the corners. And when you actually hear it, it doesn't bark. You know, like some bikes do, obviously, like the Star Yamahas in America are known for this ridiculous rasp and sound. When he was out there in practice this morning, you could barely hear him as he was hooking gears up that start straight. It was just like, you know. I was out on track earlier on this morning, and I thought exactly the same thing of Aurel Oliver. He was very, very reminiscent of the way that Sean Simpson rode. Low revs, tall gears, make it bark. The bike was really quiet. But Oliver only found his way up to 5th in this one. It's not particularly close. I don't know how close he's got to Taylor Hamill. Ben Watson 30 seconds adrift now in 3rd place. 5 seconds back is Taylor Hamill, and then Oliver still to come across the line. I think he's out another 10 seconds back. So, but as is often the case, the Premier class, these guys are giving everything, and they are more calculated in their willingness to hang it out for marginal gains. And at this portion of the day, with the sun starting to drop a little bit, and the track being certainly as brutal as it would have been at any point over the whole weekend here at Monster Mountain, everybody is easing themselves towards the last lap and the checkered flag. Jeffrey will obviously take overall victory with a 1-1. Conrad will take a 2-2, and Ben Watson will go third with the 3-3. There's going to be no need for our little Ready Reckoner down here on the side of the box. No, definitely not. That's an easy equation.
Hamill with a 4-7. In fact, so it'll be Aurel Oliver will take 4th overall with a 5-4. And I think Hamill will be 5th. Shout out to Jamie Carpenter on the second of the Crendon True 7 Hondas. He is there, currently lying in 10th. And spoke to him yesterday, and still on the struggle bus a little with an injury. But he just says it's just getting a little bit easier every time, a little bit more confidence every time, and he's just got to ride himself back into to full fitness, and hopefully he will be more to the sharp end. And then it's Cameron Drow on the Chambers KTM, the man from South Africa, Charlie Cole, Ben Edwards, Charlie Putnam 14th, Jason Meara in 15th, Sid Putnam 16th, points for him, Lennox Dickinson in 17th, Jaden Murphy on the Absolute KTM in 18th, Louis Brooks 19th, and Jack Benniston, the man on the Honda from Colville, looks like he's going to nick a point for his troubles.
Like all top level athletes and sportsmen and women, it's so, they make it look so easy. I've just been really studying Jeffrey the last sort of lap and a half, and if you've never seen this sport and you're tuning in and we're there giving it the big and this is one of the most demanding sports in the world, etc., you've got to be, you're watching them go around going, well, where's the effort in that?
Yeah, you look at it and you go, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
Now, trust me,
yeah.
I know I can't. And I've seen you ride, and you can't, but you can't on a much better level than me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when you are, as you were, when you were racing in GPs, Jeff, you would go there every week and you would see the class of your field, your Alex Pouzars and all of these kind of guys, and you would watch them and go, what are they doing that I'm not?
I got a great little, very quick story of that. So I was obviously busting the gut to try and qualify, get in the race, early doors, probably my third GP, something like that. I come in, gasping for water, out of breath, trying to put in a heater on the qualifying lap. Before even breaking down the lap, my brother comes up to me and goes, just over here, Everts is just hopping over these like bumps and stuff like that, just do that. Can I just stop you there?
And your brother can ride, he's decent himself.
Hold on, just listen to yourself. Just do that. Righto. Yeah, I'll go out and do that. I mean, that's the difference, and it does look absolutely effortless. So let's go and see what he's got to say.
That looks nothing.
No, it's so
on
far.
That camera view. If we'd have seen that from the drone, it's such a, the hop and the commitment onto that first step is unbelievable. The fact that Herlings does it lap after lap is amazing. So here we go then. It's going to be checkered flag for Jefrey Herlings. He takes race victory. Conrad Mewes second, 12 seconds back at the end of the day. I think that we got caught out there. We thought we'd still got one to go. Ben Watson will take third. There comes Ben on the Dirt Store Triumph. He comes across the line. A return to normal service for Taylor Hamill with a well-deserved fourth. I'm sure Steve Dixon will be happy with that. And he will be licking his wounds from that first race. Seventh is Oriol Oliver, Tristan Purden, Adam Sterry in seventh. There's the man from Wales. All his home round, obviously he's a North Wales man up there from up near Chester. But we'll have made the trip south. And there is Purden coming across. So there's Purden on the 41 on the 772 Kawasaki, so decent result for him in sixth. Sterry will be seventh. Bruce with that. There's Sterry going across the line now. Bobby Bruce will be eighth. Grimshaw remounted to be ninth, and Jamie Carpenter will take a position in the top 10. So we will go and have a word from our partners. Well, thank you for watching this live stream. We're going to go down, and after that we will join Jeff and myself in Winner's Circle, where we will wrap up the day's action here from round 5 of the Motul AC